Ever felt like learning web development is like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube while blindfolded? Yeah, I've been there. When I first started, I thought, how hard can it be? HTML, CSS, a bit of JavaScript. Easy, right? Oh, how wrong I was. But don't worry, I think every beginner goes through the same struggles. So today, let's talk about the most common challenges beginners face in web development, and more importantly, how you can overcome them. Because trust me, if I can figure it out, so can you. Overwhelmed from too much information. Let's be real, there's so much to learn. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, frameworks like React, libraries, tools, the list goes on. At first, it feels like someone threw you into the middle of an ocean and said, swim. How to overcome it? Here's what I learned, the hard way. Focus on the basics. It's tempting to jump straight into the flashy stuff like JavaScript frameworks, but trust me, understanding HTML and CSS first will make your life easier later. It's like learning the alphabet before trying to write a novel. Build a simple web page first, then expand. I personally followed the one step at a time approach, and it helped me stop feeling like my brain was going to explode. Debugging nightmares. You write your code, hit run, and nothing works. Sound familiar? Yeah, welcome to debugging hell. In my experience, nothing is more frustrating than spending hours trying to figure out why something as simple as a button won't click. How to overcome it. Okay, I learned this the hard way. Google is your best friend. Whenever you hit a wall, don't sit there banging your head on the keyboard. There's a 99% chance someone has already asked your question on Stack Overflow. Also, learn to use your browser's developer tools. They're lifesavers. For me, the inspect element tool was like discovering a magic trick. Now, I can't live without it. 3. JavaScript confusion. JavaScript, the language that made me question my life choices. Seriously, if HTML and CSS are a walk in the park, JavaScript is a jungle full of traps, variables, loops, functions. My head was spinning the first time I tried to wrap my brain around it. To this day, there are still things about JavaScript that confuse me. How to overcome it? Break it down into bite-sized pieces. Start by playing around with basic functions and event listeners. I found building small projects like a simple calculator or a to-do list was a great way to get comfortable. Also, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Some of my worst code turned into the best learning experiences, like the time I accidentally broke a whole web page. Imposter syndrome. Have you ever looked at other developers' work and thought, I'll never be that good? Yeah, I felt that way too. Imposter syndrome is real. It's that voice in your head that says you're not cut out for this. How to overcome it? First of all, everyone feels this way, even experienced developers. The key is to keep building. With each project you finish, your confidence grows. Also, celebrate small wins. When I finally got my first form to submit correctly, I may have done a little dance. No one saw it, thankfully. But hey, it's about the small victories. 5. Staying consistent. Web development is not something you master overnight, and staying consistent is one of the hardest parts. I get it. Life happens. Maybe you miss a day or even a week of coding, and suddenly you feel like you're back to square one. How to overcome it? I found that setting small, daily goals worked best. Even if I only coded for 20 minutes a day, it kept me on track. Also, try to work on projects that excite you. It's much easier to stay motivated when you're building something you're passionate about. And trust me, frequent practice is the key. Think of it like going to the gym. You don't get stronger from one workout, but a consistent routine. That's where the magic happens. Bonus tip, building a community. Now, one thing that made a huge difference in my journey was finding a community of other web developers. Talking to people who are going through the same struggles made me feel less alone, and I learned a ton from them. How to overcome it? Get involved. Join online forums, Reddit groups, or Discord servers where you can connect with other beginners and more experienced developers. Ask questions, share your progress, and don't be afraid to show your mistakes. My biggest breakthroughs came from conversations with others, and the best part, the web development community is super supportive. In my experience, no one's gonna laugh at your mistakes because they've been there too. So if you're just starting in web development, these are the challenges you'll face, but don't let them discourage you. You've got this. It's like any skill, the more you practice, the better you'll get. And trust me, one day you'll look back at your early struggles and laugh, just like I do now. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment about what challenge you're facing right now. I'd love to help. Oh, and if you're interested in learning more, check out the other videos on my channel. Let's keep growing together.